Okay, stop.
Hammer time.
Put the paintbrush down, cancel that flooring contractor, and step away from the Home Depot vanity aisle. You are about to make a $20,000 mistake that could actually make your home harder to sell. So before we dive into the data, if you're even thinking about moving in the next 12 months, do yourself a favor, send me a quick text, let me know you're thinking of making a move, and we'll strategize together on how to make it happen. Look, y'all, most homeowners think they need to prep the house before they call an agent, before we even step in the door to speak with them about listing. They want it to look perfect before we see it. And y'all, that is just backwards. Do not do a single upgrade to your home until you speak with a listing agent who is actively selling homes in your specific market. And look, when I say active, I don't mean someone who has a license and sells a house to their cousin once a year. I mean a full-time professional. Guys, there are over 100,000 licensed agents right here in North Carolina alone. So just think about that and how easy it would be to select the wrong agent to sell your home. You need someone who's in the trenches every single day, seeing what buyers are saying on our showing feedbacks for our listings we currently have, and we're at open houses every weekend, not to mention constantly staying in the know through top agent masterminds and collab sessions. We talk to agents across our office and in other companies. So if your agent isn't full-time, they are reacting to last year's news, not staying on top of what's happening right now in Raleigh and the surrounding areas. And here's the truth, Becky and I have helped hundreds of sellers navigate this ever-evolving market, and we would love to help guide your family through it as well when the time comes. There is a massive difference between an agent that will list your home and one that will actually sell it. Anyone with a license can list your house. That's just putting it on the MLS and praying the right buyer sees it and comes through the door and makes an offer. A listing agent is ultimately a marketer and a negotiator. We don't just put your listing on the market, we also get it off the market, which is your ultimate goal. And we do that with the best terms for you and your family and your situation. And the reality is every seller we work with has their own unique situation and their own reason for moving. So working with someone who cares enough to actually understand what that motivation to move really looks like becomes so important when you decide to put your home on the market. Okay, so there are really three main reasons why we say don't touch a thing until you speak with a qualified real estate professional. First of all, the things that keep you up at night, that tiny chip in the laundry room tile or that outdated wallpaper in the guest bath, those might not matter at all to your future buyer. We see sellers spend thousands of dollars fixing things that a buyer was going to come in and rip out anyway, or that maybe even was a non-issue for anyone new coming in. So the last thing we want you to do as our seller is to waste your time and your money on invisible fixes that really don't add to your bottom line in the sale. And if you're sitting there wondering, does my kitchen count as an invisible fix? Stop guessing. Comment value below. We can hop on a quick call, or I'm happy to come over for a 15-minute walkthrough and tell you exactly what to ignore and what you should focus on ahead of listing. And the second reason we advise sellers not to start upgrading their home on their own is the fact that buyer tastes change year over year. 2 years ago, gray paint, gray LVP flooring, and gray kitchen cabinetry was all the rage. Today, we're done with it. Buyers want warm oaks and natural creamy tones. And if you guess on materials and choose what seems like a modern backsplash that went out of style 6 months ago, you haven't just wasted money, you've actually lowered your bottom dollar because now the buyer sees a new renovation that they are going to have to pay to undo once they own the house. And reason number 3 that we don't want you guessing on updates, some truly pay off more than others. It's not always a dollar for dollar return. Certain updates pay off at $2 for every dollar spent. Others pay back 50 cents on the dollar. And some, y'all, not at all. So unless you are doing a full-scale renovation, which you should not do in preparation to sell without your agent's guidance, you need to know the hierarchy of value. So in today's market, a fresh coat of paint, of the right neutral paint, often nets a higher return than a mid-tier bathroom remodel. And look, if you're doing a full overhaul and plan to stay in the house long-term, go nuts. It's your house and you should absolutely enjoy it while you live there. This discussion relates completely to updates with the intention of selling your home. Look, y'all, Becky and I have walked into homes where sellers spent $40,000 on a kitchen with details that did not appeal to the largest number of people in the target buyer pool that we have. And we've also seen sellers spend $2,000 on staging and lighting that netted them an extra $50K in offers. So the difference in that is truly in the data. We have the research on the comparable sales and your current competition that support what we are advising for your specific neighborhood and your price point. And when you call a contractor to come in and work on your house, they don't have that information. And Pinterest certainly doesn't have that information either. So long story short, don't gamble with your home's equity. If you're planning to sell in the next 6 months, in the next year, your first step isn't a contractor, it's a conversation with us. Call or text us at the number on your screen today. Let's schedule a no pressure, no obligation consultation. I'll walk you through your home, tell you exactly what to fix, exactly what to leave alone, and how we're going to get you the best possible terms for your family in this market. And don't spend a dime until we talk about those things. Reach out when you're ready, and let's get your home sold the right way. I'm Sam, Dream Team Realty Group. We'll see you soon.